Thousands of Twitter employees are being laid off as Elon Musk overhauls the company. Twitter temporarily closed its San Francisco offices after telling employees they would be informed by email about whether they had a job or not. CBS's Carter Evans has more from Los Angeles.
A Twitter tweet storm as employees learned they were fired over email. In an effort to place Twitter on a healthy path, we will go through the difficult process of reducing our global workforce, the company told them. This worker confirmed the official and very dehumanizing layoff email has been received. Rachel Bond posted a picture she took at work with her 9-month-old son. She's also 8 months pregnant. CEO Elon Musk has not talked about the firings, but he did tweet about the company's financial problems. Twitter has had a massive drop in revenue due to activist groups pressuring advertisers, even though nothing has changed with content moderation. He also spoke about it at a conference in New York today.
A number of major advertisers have stopped spending on Twitter. This doesn't seem right.
Meantime, the list of companies reportedly suspending business with Twitter is still growing.
If you have a beautiful new car that you want to sell with social media advertising, you're not going to want that to appear right next to like a hate tweet.
Montclair State University professor Bon Benton authored a study showing that immediately after Musk took over, hate-filled tweets increased substantially, and there's concern of what could happen after all the job cuts. Could that impact their ability to moderate this hate speech on the platform?
If they are removing people whose primary job is the control of content, we may be seeing even more of this.
From Twitter headquarters last week, Musk tweeted, "Let that sink in." But with analysts suggesting he paid almost twice what Twitter is worth, some now wonder if he's the captain of a sinking ship.
The easy part was buying Twitter. The Herculean part's going to be turning around.
Some employees are already suing Twitter, saying the layoffs violate state and federal law requiring 60 days notice. And with all of this controversy, the question now is, can Musk turn around Twitter without impacting Tesla and SpaceX, the two companies that made him the richest man in the world? Ouija?
Carter Evans, thank you. Alistair Barr joins me now. He is the global tech editor for Business Insider. Alistair, it's great to see you. So Musk said he had no choice but to have these layoffs, and everyone who exited was offered 3 months severance. Do they have any recourse?
I think legally they do have a recourse. The WARN Act is very specific about that. The problem is, I think it's going to be pretty hard to enforce in this instance. The employees have already, been shut out of the offices. They've lost their computer access. So practically speaking, more than 3,700 employees have already lost their jobs. There's one theory that is going around that this lawsuit has been put out to basically ensure that Elon Musk does actually follow through and pay severance, because he has got a reputation for really not liking to pay that type of thing during restructurings. So I think part of it is that.
As we said earlier, employees have been barred from entering Twitter's San Francisco office, except for those who are working on so-called Elon critical projects. What can you tell us about what those are and how many people actually still have work?
Yeah, actually, that is a super interesting thing that Elon Musk did, and it's very similar to what he does at Tesla and SpaceX, but especially Tesla. Last weekend we called it the Twitter Hunger Games, because really at that point Elon Musk was really seeing which employees really wanted to stay at Twitter with him as the owner and really wanted to work hard, because Elon Musk is known to be a really, really tough boss and expect people to work long, long hours. So there are a lot of these projects that he's basically demanded that people work on very, very quickly. He's given people very, very strict deadlines of basically a week to get stuff done. So we're talking about things like, if you want to be verified on Twitter, you're going to have to pay $8 a month. That takes a lot of coding and a lot of product development. He wants that done in about a week, and he said that if people don't get that done, they'll be fired. There's loads of other things like Vine, which used to be a short-form video platform that Twitter bought. But to shut that down, it's very like TikTok. Elon Musk wants to bring that back, so that's another very, very big project. He's got loads of other ones as well, but really it's a way to basically test all these employees and see who's willing to work, really, really hard.
Well, Musk tweeted Friday that Twitter had a massive drop in revenue as advertisers pulled out of the site, allegedly pressured by unnamed quote, activist groups. How much revenue has Twitter lost? And is there anything you can tell us about where the company stands financially?
So Twitter has probably lost millions and millions of dollars. I'm pretty sure that Elon Musk has said this week that it's about $3 million. And that is a lot of money for this company. The problem is that Elon Musk bought this company with a massive amount of debt. He's going to have, I think, over $10 billion in debt. There's going to be a lot of heavy interest payments on that debt. So, and Twitter, even before Elon Musk bought it, it was not a very profitable company. Sometimes it lost money in a quarter. Sometimes it made money. So really, he's going to have to act very, very fast. He wants the revenue to stay up and obviously grow, but he also has to cut expenses because those interest payments are basically already starting very soon. So, the job cuts are one thing. He's going to save hundreds of millions of dollars from that. Obviously, he doesn't want advertisers backing off, but, I think advertisers in these types of situations, they do become very wary. The economy is slowing. Advertisers really don't want to spend a lot more on advertising, that they're like picking and choosing. So I think now's the time where, they're probably going to pause, wait and see what happens, and then maybe come back a bit later.
All right. We will all be waiting to see what happens. Alistair Barr, thank you so much.